Welcome back once again to howtocookgreatfood.com. If you haven't already, it would be great if you could click that button and subscribe to our channel. As you can see on the menu today, I'm going to make a beautiful beef and vegetable stew with loads of red wine. It takes quite a while to cook this one. I've used about half a bottle of red wine, some beautiful beef, nice low and slow. I've got some onions in there, garlic, bay leaf, thyme, potatoes, carrots, and some sweet peppers that I put in at the end. Really delicious. Let's go and do it. So we'll get started. I've got a nice pot there. I've got some olive oil in it. You can use any oil you like. You could even use butter perhaps. I've now got my beef here, nice chunky beef. I'm going to drop that in. That's a boneless fillet, as you can see. And there's a fair amount of oil in there. Which is going to add a brilliant flavour to this dish. At this stage, we're going to drop a little bit of salt and some black pepper. And we're on a kind of medium heat, and I'm going to cook this for about 6 minutes. Give it a nice head start before we add anything else. Stir often. So this has been cooking for about 5 or 6 minutes. It's absolutely nowhere near cooked. I mean, you've really got to cook this for some time. I mean, they're kind of pretty decent sized chunks of beef for a start, and we need to get it really nice and tender. At this stage, I'm going to throw in a whole load of garlic, roughly chopped. I've got like a head of garlic there, so maybe 6 cloves maybe. Entirely up to you what you want to put in. And I like it kind of chunky like that. I'm also going to add now some dried thyme, which I think works really well with this. But maybe, maybe rosemary could work or something like that. You can play around with it. You know what this show's like. We like people to experiment and do their own thing. So I'm using thyme. You can use anything you like. Now I'm going to go in with some onions. Now, as you can see, I'm using a red onion today, and I've chopped these really small. I've actually put them in my food processor to get them nice and small, and they're going to kind of really help create a nice gravy. Unlike other beef stews that I've made before, we're not kind of frying this in any flour, and I won't be adding any cornstarch or anything. So let's get the heat up on that. Let's pop our lid on. I'll be back here in about 5 minutes. Always stir, stir, stir. Keep your eye on it. Let's jump in and take a look. That's bubbling away nicely. We've got some amazing flavours happening there. I'm going to pop in some bay leaf now. And then some red wine. So a few glugs of the red wine. I'll be adding more later as well. Now, you may have heard me say this before, there's no such thing as cooking wine. Wine is wine. So if you won't drink a glass of the wine, don't cook with it, you know. Rubbish wine is rubbish wine. It's going to make your food taste bad. So get a decent wine that you're quite happy to have a glass of and use that. Lid back on. Turn it down now, just above a simmer, and now let that go for 30 minutes. Let's take a look now. Wonderful smell coming off of this now. Reduce slightly as well. Now, depending on the cut of your beef, you might need to cook it longer. You kind of can't overcook this one. This is pretty good at the moment. It feels okay. So at this stage, I'm going to add some vegetables. I'm going to start off with some carrots. Chunky cut again. You can add whatever you like. I mean, I'm just going to add carrots, potatoes and some sweet peppers near the end, but some celery might be good, or some other sort of root vegetables kind of work well with this. Let's have another little glug of our wine. Nice boozy beef. And again on a low heat. Let that go for about another 15 or 20 minutes. Nice slow cooker this one. Okay, let's jump in again. Those carrots have still got a long way to go, but they're good. Now I'm going to put in some potatoes. Again, nice and big. I've just peeled these and give them a little wash. Lid's going to go back on. Now I want to cook those for about, I don't know, another 10 or 15 minutes on a nice low heat. I might even add a little splash more red wine. Let's take a look now. I did add another little splash of our red wine. Those potatoes are looking pretty good. So just at the end, I'm going to add some sweet peppers, just for a little bit of colour, a little bit of crunch, because I don't like to cook them for too long. So I've used about half a bottle of red wine. Let's go again, have another little go. Check that for seasoning now. Might need a touch of salt if you want, it's fine for me. Lid's going to go back on. I'm going to cook that just for about 4 or 5 more minutes, I think, and that's it. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye bye.